Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
Now, in this year's budget, the finance minister has decided to set up an asset reconstruction company. This asset reconstruction company is going to be a kind of bad bank. Before that, let's understand the background. I hope all of you must be aware that the Indian economy is presently facing the twin balance sheet problem. That is, on one hand, the balance sheets of the banks have come to be dominated by more amount of NPS. On the other hand, the balance sheets of the companies have come to be dominated by more amount of debt. This has got the Indian economy into kind of vicious economic cycle. So on one hand, the banks have accumulated higher amount of NPS. So as the banks have accumulated higher amount of NPS, banks are required to keep aside some percentage of the capital as part of provisioning requirements. So not only the banks are facing higher losses, but their capital is also getting locked up. So this has got the Indian economy into kind of vicious economic cycle. In order to solve this particular problem, Economic Survey in one of the earlier years, it had proposed the government to set up a bad bank, which it had called as PARA, which stands for Public Asset Rehabilitation Agency. This was initially proposed by the Economic Survey. And recently, before the presentation of the budget this year, Indian Bank Association, which is basically a consortium of different banks in India, it had put forward the proposal to the finance minister to set up a bad bank. So finally, the finance minister has taken these recommendations into account, and she has decided to set up asset reconstruction company. But let me tell you, this asset reconstruction company, which is proposed by the finance minister, it is different from the bad bank, which is proposed by the Economic Survey. How is it different? The Economic Survey had proposed that this bad bank, it should be set up and funded by the government of India. Who should be funding it? Government should be funding it. But this asset reconstruction company, which has been set up in this year's budget, this is not going to be funded by the government of India. So who is going to fund this? This is going to be funded by the banks themselves. So both public sector banks and private sector banks will come together, pool in their money and set up an asset reconstruction company. So let's understand as to how this asset reconstruction company would work. Now let's say you have an individual, say person A. This person A has borrowed 100 crores from a particular bank. In order to borrow 100 crores, this person may have kept his land as a mortgage, as a collateral. And this person may have set up an industry. Subsequently, because of some reasons, person A here may not be in a position to repay back the loans to the banks. So what has happened in this particular case? This 100 crore has turned into what? Non-performing asset. Apart from that, bank here is required to set aside some capital in order to cover the risk arising from NPA. What do we call that as? Provisioning requirement. So let's say the bank here has set aside rupees 50 crores in order to cover the risk from this particular NPA. So look at the bank status. Bank has faced a loss of 100 crores plus its 50 crore capital is getting locked up. What will happen in that particular case? It will lead to decrease in the credit creation and thus a slowdown in the Indian economy, right? So what will happen in this particular case is the bank here will sell off this NPA worth 100 crores at say at 60 crores to an asset reconstruction company. Now you must be wondering, is it not a loss to the banks? You must understand this is not a loss to the bank. Why? Because bank has already given it its hopes of recovering this 100 crores. At least it is getting back 60 crores or not. So it goes to the logic. Something is better than nothing. So at least it is getting back 60 crores. So in return for the 60 crores, this asset reconstruction company, what it will do is, it will pay the 60 crores in terms of cash and security receipts. For example, it will pay rupees 10 crores in terms of cash and rupees 50 crores in terms of security receipts. Now, if you are wondering as to what exactly is security receipt, See, when the NPA is bought by the asset reconstruction company, the asset reconstruction company is taking control of the industry. Yes, it is taking control of the mortgage land. So against these assets, it is issuing the security receipts. Understood? So these asset reconstruction companies, they are required to be registered with whom? They are required to be registered with Reserve Bank of India. And they have been recognized under the SARFAESI Act. I hope you must have already studied about SARFAESI Act. So they have been recognized under SARFAESI Act. So the SARFAESI Act empowers the asset reconstruction companies to issue what? Security receipts. Then what the asset reconstruction company would do here is, asset reconstruction company will carry out a debt restructuring. What is debt restructuring? For example, it can ask this person A, do not pay me the entire 100 crores, at least pay me rupees 70 crores. Or the asset reconstruction company may decide to extend the maturity period, or the asset reconstruction company may reduce the rate of interest. So what the asset reconstruction company is basically doing here, it is making this person A to pay back his amount. He is giving necessary flexibility to the person A. Or the asset reconstruction company can take over the management of this particular industry, revive this industry, make it more profitable, and then sell it off. Or the asset reconstruction company can sell off the land and get back the NPA. So once the asset reconstruction company gets back the amount, which could be say 60 crores or 70 crores or 80 crores, that money it is paying back to the banks. That is where the security receipts will come into picture. So the payment for the security receipts, which is say around 50 crores, is being paid back to the banks. Doing some work on behalf of the bank, for which it is charging what? Management. Now, the finance minister has proposed that this asset reconstruction company would be in a position to resolve stressed assets of almost around 2.5 lakh crore, which are majorly concentrated in 70 large accounts. So this is the proposal. So what is the benefit here? Benefit here is, first and foremost, we will be able to address the present capital constraints of ARCs, asset reconstruction company. Now, presently in India, we have around 10 to 15 asset reconstruction companies, but these asset reconstruction companies do not have sufficient amount of capital. So we have set up a new asset reconstruction company which will take over the NPAs of the banks. Hope it is clear. Next, it will reduce the NPAs of the banks, unlock the capital. It will enable the banks to focus on the core competence of giving loans. And lastly, we'll be able to counter the vicious economic cycle created because of twin balance sheet. But at the same time, you have to understand that the setting up of an asset reconstruction company is not a magic bullet. It still has a number of constraints and challenges. What are the constraints and challenges? First and foremost, here, there is a dilemma over at what price the NPAs should have to be sold. Now, for example, if a bank has an NPA worth 100 crores, and if it is selling at a high price, let's say if it is selling it at 90 crores to an asset reconstruction company, and if the asset reconstruction company is not able to recover that amount, then whose loss it will be? It will loss for the asset reconstruction company. On the other hand, if an NPA worth rupees 100 crore is sold by the bank at say 20 crores, whose loss it will be? It will loss for the banks. So there is a dilemma as to what would be the price of the NPAs. Next, the ex-RBI governor, Mr. Raghuram Rajan, he was completely against the idea of setting up of a bad bank. Why? Because he felt that by setting up of a bad bank, we are carrying out a kind of accounting adventure. Why it is accounting adventure here? Because we are merely transferring NPA from one entity to another. Now, if you ask me, are we solving the core problems which have led to increase in the NPAs in the first place? We are not solving the core problems. Now, if you ask me as to what has led to increase in NPAs of public sector banks, it is predominantly because of political interference in the working of PSPs. Are you solving it? No. Now, for the time being, you may be able to reduce the NPAs, but after 2 to 3 years, once again, the NPAs will resurface. That is why it is being said that setting up of a bad bank is a band aid and a superficial solution to the problem of twin balance sheet problem. Unless you don't bring about reforms, you'll not be able to solve the problem of NPAs. And the last problem is normally a delay in the recovery of bad assets by the asset reconstruction companies.